Welcome back to Showcase Pittsburgh on KDKA TV. I'm John Klein. Today, 8 businesses. Dr. Nathan Lockery is back again from Aspen Dental. Mike Madden is back again from USA Installation. Also, Cookie Harris from New Image Hair Clinic is here, and we have some friends from Treasure Hunt. But right now, Bridget is back with us from Life Pittsburgh. Welcome back to Showcase Pittsburgh.
Thank you very much.
If somebody's tuning in the first time, somebody's life will change because of what you're going to say.
Right.
And to me, this is very cool once we found out about what Life Pittsburgh is. Tell everybody watching in case they don't know.
Sure. Life Pittsburgh is an alternative for seniors in the community. A place that they can go, they can get all of their services, their medical services, to see their doctor, to get their therapies, home services if they need them. There's the social component as well as the medical component.
When you say social, what do you mean social component?
Well, our centers, we have 3 centers currently located, and that gives people an opportunity to get out of their homes. You know, a lot of times as we get older, there's that sort of isolation that occurs where people just sort of stay in their apartments and get used to that kind of quietness. Well, this gives them a chance to get out and do different programs. We have different activities that go on there, different things that actually are of interest to them, what they want to do when they're not in their homes, but that they couldn't do by themselves.
I've seen a lot of older people go through, they start losing friends, and all of a sudden they don't have that network of people they used to have, so this would give them a good chance to get out and
and I think we find that a lot. You know, people will come into the center and they'll say, oh my goodness, I grew up, because our centers are very much based in the neighborhood, and then they recognize people that they went to church with or that they had relationships with, and it's a really nice opportunity for people to get back together. It is
Pittsburgh where everybody knows somebody. It's like, wait, that's your grandmother, blah, blah, blah. So it is. Life Pittsburgh is big too on helping seniors adapt to a new lifestyle if they come out of a nursing home or come out of a hospital.
Sure. You know, a lot of times you're faced with these changes, and one of the things that Life Pittsburgh does really well is meeting the person where they are. So if today you come out of a nursing facility and ambulation walking is a little bit challenging for you, that's okay. We'll work with that. And maybe we get you back to where you were, or maybe we just figure out how to make this work for you going forward. So it's very important that we meet the people where they want to be as far as what kind of needs they might have or what interests they're pursuing.
Is this something that you found, Bridget, that a lot of people, as we grow up and we're younger, you go into the hospital, and when you come out of the hospital, you go straight home, and but it's different when you're a little bit older.
Yeah, it's very different, and now, of course, with society, you know, our medical care is becoming very you know, broad, and there's so many options available to you. But for a senior, that takes a lot of toll on a person if they're having to stay in the hospital for a few days. And I think now, you know, you mentioned Pittsburgh. I'm from Pittsburgh. I grew up here, and you always had family kind of base. Now we're living in a society where people, the caregivers, may not be able to go and visit mom on a weekend or whatever. So Life Pittsburgh allows people to still have that support. We are very much like a family unit. We're not formal or particular. We like everyone, so it works out very nicely.
What are some of the specific services that Life Pittsburgh offers?
Sure. We have doctors and nurses that are in the center, as well as physical therapists, occupational therapists, social workers, recreation therapists. We have drivers and transportation that also goes along with that.
So just about anything that is an obstacle in somebody's life, you guys have figured out a way to kind of get around it and make it a little bit easier.
Absolutely.
Are there age limits or restrictions on this?
Yeah, you have to be 55 years old or older to join the program, and then we have that you have to live in a certain zip code area in Allegheny County, and the surrounding areas also have life programs. So it really is pretty widespread.
Do you deal with a lot of, and before we got started, you said, hey, you know, what do your parents do and where are they? And they're lucky enough to be traveling to Florida next week, so that's great. But I would assume that a lot of children and grandchildren maybe don't know what options there are for their parents when they age and get a little bit older.
I think it's a huge challenge out there right now, because again, this is the caregivers that we're working with are the ones that have their own lives right now. They're still working. They may have children, and now they have a parent who they love and want to keep in their home, but they're not quite sure how to do that. So I think Life Pittsburgh is a great opportunity. You know, we're available on the web. You can get our email address and ask us any questions you want, and we can also help sort of connect you if we're not the right program.
Is this something that is a government-run organization?
It is. It's Medicare and Medicaid funded, and so there's really
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Does that make it easy or not? So
it's actually a really great opportunity, and it works well for the state of Pennsylvania also, because we do a really good job of using funds from Pennsylvania to make sure that we're doing the right thing for the right reasons. But I think that the nice thing about it is if you qualify, there is no cost to you to join the program.
Zero.
Zero. No co-pays, nothing like that.
So this isn't something that needs to be insurance-based or?
Correct. There's no worry about that.
Before we wrap up, is there anything, Bridget, that you would like to leave everybody with today before we wrap up?
I think that the point you brought up was that it's really a challenge to figure out what you're going to do with your parent and how they're going to move forward and what they want to choose to do. Life Pittsburgh is about honoring the person where they are. It's about working with them to make the right decisions going forward for what they want to do. And I think the important thing is to call ahead. Don't wait until you're in the nursing home or you're in the hospital, you know, and there's a crisis. Call ahead, sort of get yourself set up, and it's a really wonderful place.
Make that call. You're going to change some lives. We say that every time you guys are in. Make the call. Learn more about Life Pittsburgh. All you have to do is call Bridget or anybody standing by at 412-388-8050 or log on to lifepittsburgh.org. If you'd like to be a part of our show here on Showcase Pittsburgh, call us at 412-575-2400 or email at showcase@kdka.com. Next up, Dr. Nathan Lockery from Aspen Dental. That's next when Showcase Pittsburgh continues right here on KDKA TV.